All right, everyone, welcome back. Today is July 6th, and if you've been watching the crypto asset markets today, you've been noticing it's mostly been a down day. Dogecoin is still down as of right now, although the market is slowly starting to creep up as the day wears on. There's a couple of news stories on why this is happening, but do not fear. There's a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt going on. There's rehashed news stories that are happening right now, and there are still individuals that are trying to dump to pull the market down because they realize the truth, the future of the crypto asset markets, in particular for Dogecoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin, is extremely bright, and they're going to try to pull it down as much as they can to make as much money as possible. They want you to get out, and that would be a mistake. Hold strong. We're going to talk about this. This is Dogecast. I am Vin. Let's get to it. So before we get to those news stories, let's just take a quick look at where Dogecoin is performing today and where we expect it to go within the month. You can see right now Dogecoin's at 23 cents and change. It's been trying to, over the last couple of hours, since about 12 o'clock, to sort of level out and fight its way back up. If we look at the live chart as of 3:36 p.m., you can see that happening. It's trying to come on back up from the bad news stories that have been out there, which I'm going to tell you in just a moment. And if we go to the one day, you can see since 12 a.m. this morning, it's down 1.73%. Bitcoin has just creeped itself back into the positive. It's up about 0.19%. And Ethereum has actually been performing quite well. Although it experienced that downward trend earlier on, Ethereum has been quite strong in the last couple of weeks. Of course, Dogecoin, when there's any FUD out there, this fear, uncertainty, and doubt, Dogecoin is always going to perform the worst because it's the least matured of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and of course, Dogecoin. This is the main reason for the struggling market today, and it is once again the rehashed story from China and the government of China and the central bank of China cracking down on cryptocurrencies. The same old thing we've been hearing now for years is popping its ugly head back up again, and it once again causes everything to crash back down and then draw back up as people reinvest. We can see this, and this is the only quote I'm going to go through right here. It says, while it's not directly affecting crypto, China's clampdown on tech firms is another example of it flexing its regulatory muscles against an industry whose oversight has been lacking. So China wants more oversight of something. Obviously, China, communist China, wants its tight, gripped hands on everything that it can get it on, said Antonio Trenchev, co-founder of crypto lender Nexo in London. Bitcoin, too, is caught in China's regulatory crossfire, and it's seen as a threat to the digital yen. It's all about China's government seeing crypto assets as a threat to itself and its own currency. And that's the fact. These centralized governments that have failed in the past and have had way too much oversight, have inflated the prices of their currency, printed them off without regard to the impact or effect to inflation or the people around, are now threatened by a system that's deregulated, that fights against inflation and fights to give everyone an equal ground. Again, same story, but what does that do to the market? It does this. What we see at 5 a.m., boom, falls. Bitcoin, 5 a.m., boom, falls. Ethereum, same thing. Only difference between Dogecoin, Bitcoin, and Ethereum right now, they're all great. Tons of potential for Dogecoin. Bitcoin, of course, has great development. Ethereum, very smart contracts, excellent job that they're doing. But Dogecoin, we just don't have the maturity in the holders here, and so it affects us more. So you see, once again, this crash happens, and then people don't know how to react. Do I sell off? Do I buy in? Do I sell off? Do I buy in? They don't know what to do. In Bitcoin, they're not as worried about it. It's simply not affecting them. Ethereum, it's not affecting them as much. They're just buying back into it. They're not worried about this rehash story. They've heard it before. A lot of Dogecoin holders don't even know about this China story. They don't know what's going on there. It's old stuff. Don't get worried about this. Hold strong. It's the same rehash story. I'm telling you what they're trying to do. They're trying to pull the crypto asset market down as much as they possibly can. When you see these stories about ransomware and them using crypto assets to get paid this ransom, this is from Reuters here, up to 1,500 businesses affected by ransomware attacks. So you guys know that ransomware attack from that company that supplied all of that tech. What was it? Casayas, if that's how it's said. So it provides provided IT or technical help and machinery to different companies in Sweden, and I believe New Zealand. They were groceries and schools. And of course, once this attack occurred, then these places could no longer function. Their cash machines would no longer, their registers wouldn't function anymore. These schools had to shut down. They were losing their data. And of course, they want $70 million. But then when people start reporting on it, what do they report on it? Oh, they want to get paid in cryptocurrency. See, cryptocurrencies are bad. I guarantee you, if they couldn't get paid in cryptocurrencies, if tomorrow you outlawed all cryptocurrencies, they would want to get paid in cash. It's not going to stop them from doing these attacks and requesting money. That's not going to be able to be tracked, which is going to just be cash left somewhere in some account somewhere and then taken out and put somewhere else. The cryptocurrency right now is just a decentralized way for them to do it. Cryptocurrencies are not the problem. The problem is we have these unprotected IT systems. We have these companies that are allowing this to happen. We have governments that are not cracking down on the things that they should be cracking down on, which is these attackers. That's what you crack down on, not cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies are a digital currency, a resource for people to use that's protected from inflation, deregulated, decentralized. And we have these developers who are doing an amazing job. Don't attack the cryptocurrencies. Just because that's how these people want to get paid is not the issue. The issue is our governments won't crack down on and stop these individuals who are doing this. That's always seems to be the problem. Our government always blames the wrong thing, and they always fight against the wrong thing. And in this situation, that's what's happening again. And what does it produce? Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Let's rehash the China story again. Oh, China's cracking down on cryptocurrencies. Fear, uncertainty, doubt. Another ransomware. Fear, uncertainty, doubt. At the same time, we have whales dumping. Same time, rehash story, dump. They're trying to pull these markets down as much as they possibly can. And you know what's incredible? Even though they've been trying to do that, they really haven't been able to pull them down that much. So what's going to happen? This is my thoughts. I think they're going to continue to try to do it, but this is going to come to an end. There is going to be a moment where they're going to realize we can't pull these markets down anymore. Bitcoin is simply too strong. It's just fighting right back after the same old rehash story. Ethereum is simply too strong, and Dogecoin, its holders are going to get their act together. The long-term investors who are in it for the long term, those strong consolidated investors aren't going anywhere. And we understand the reality of the situation is that people are going to accept this. Private companies and corporations are going to accept this because it's protected against inflation. We know that there's going to be countries out there that are going to realize that they are in the negative because of the inflationary problems caused by the other countries who keep printing off money. And they're going to say, no, we're going to allow our individuals to trade in crypto assets to protect them. Country after country is going to adopt that. We already see it across the board. So these places that are trying to shut this down and rehash these stories, and these investors who are trying to be a part of pulling these things down so that they can get their money in there at the lowest possible levels, they realize the truth. You're not fighting against this. You're not going to end this, but they want to get the most money they can out of it. They want to get China. If I guarantee you that there's individuals in China that are investing heavily in crypto assets, and the government itself wants to produce its own crypto asset, the Chinese digital yen. They want to do the same thing because they know that's where the future is. Unfortunately, they don't realize ain't nobody in the world except for the people you force in China are going to utilize a digital yen, because nobody wants the government of China having oversight over them or their transactions. Any other country that does the same thing is going to face the same problem. Russia could do it if they want. Nobody except for the people you force in Russia are going to utilize your Russian digital currency. They want a decentralized currency that is protected against the hands of government. And that's why these currencies work so well, because the people get behind them and the people realize they can see it. It's transparent. There's clarity there, and there's no one there to mess around with printing off too much of it. So if the world currencies are fine, I'm good with the dollar. I want the dollar to be strong as well. But if you keep printing it off, I want to have some protection against that by investing in something that just can't be printed off like that. A lot of people talk about Dogecoin. They say Dogecoin's unlimited and how much can be produced. No, it's not. You can only produce 5 billion Dogecoin per year. And I know that seems like a lot in comparison to how much Bitcoin's out there, but $5 billion for the over 7 trillion people that are on planet Earth simply isn't that much in comparison to the trillions upon trillions of dollars that the United States prints every year. 5 billion Dogecoin simply isn't that much. And right now, the people are behind Dogecoin and the developers are now behind Dogecoin. I even saw a news story today, I'll go right to it here, where Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin, we've already talked about him, how he said he wanted to work with Dogecoin. He reiterated that he loves Dogecoin. He said, I love the Doge every day. This is Ethereum's co-founder. We know from the developers of Doge that there is a team that is dedicated to working with Ethereum and forming a bridge to Ethereum that you can get the equivalent Dogecoin value on Ethereum's blockchain. So making a connection there. We know that there's a team on Dogecoin that are of developers that are working on upgrading using Bitcoins, nodes and blockchain using their communicating computers. We know that the team on Dogecoin is improving the transaction fee. We know that Elon Musk is working on connecting Dogecoin with Starlink. That is already out there. We know that Elon Musk has the 5th most powerful computer on planet Earth, and there's going to be a connection between Dogecoin and that computer and that system as far as mining is concerned. We know that Elon Musk's future, I believe it's going to be Q1 space mission next year, is going to be funded and paid for by Dogecoin. We know that Tesla's going to be accepting it. More and more companies every single year. So what are they doing? They're rehashing old news stories. They're dumping to try to get you out, so that in 10 years from now, when Dogecoin is $20, $30, $35, and you could have stayed invested when it was 23 cents, they were able to get you out and they were able to get their money in at the lowest possible level. But this will end. It's coming to an end. I believe by the end of July-ish is when we're going to start seeing this stuff end, and we're going to see these crypto assets starting to pump up big time. And hopefully the fear and the uncertainty in the doubt goes away. And as it begins to pump up and people begin to realize, wait a second, this is secure. This is happening. They've tried to bring it down, but it didn't work. That's when these are going to go up. That's when you're going to take a look. And it's going to happen out of nowhere. I mean, the way this works in crypto assets is it just looks, oh man, what's going on? Nothing's really happening. And then boom, out of nowhere. It's like the call goes out, but we're not a part of the call. It's like everyone starts, okay, you guys ready? We're about to do this. But if you hold, you're going to be in on it. So right now we see Dogecoin. It's trying to fight its way back up. If we look at the live once again, you can see here the live, right? It's trying to settle itself down from these bad news stories, this rehashed China news story, and it's trying to fight its way back up, especially an immature crypto asset. Investors in Dogecoin just aren't as matured as the other two are. And so now it's trying to get back up to at least 0%, right? So that there's no loss today. Bitcoin's already made its way above that mark. Ethereum is doing very well. There's no doubt about that. And so don't worry about this. My message to you is hold, be strong, do not fear. These crypto assets are going nowhere, and they realize this. You're in a good place. The only downside in Doge that I see as far as right now is that it could dip to 20 cents, possibly. I cannot see it going lower than that. There's just too many people that are long-term holders of Doge at this point. They're not going anywhere. And the same thing's happening with Bitcoin too. They keep trying to pull Bitcoin down, right? They keep trying to get it to go down, but it's just not going down. There's too many long-term investors who are saying no to this, and they're holding on tight. And yeah, maybe it'll horizontalize out, but eventually it's going to go back up, and it's going to go back up with a vengeance. So stay strong. Hold strong. Don't let these rehashed news stories get to you. You are in a good place. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, consider subscribing. This is Dogecast. We're going to keep you in the loop. We're going to keep you motivated. We're going to keep you encouraged. We have a good community here, and you want to be a part of it. So like the videos, share the videos. It helps the channel out. Thank you for coming along with me. As always, I will catch you next time.